So we're going to do another deck guide today. This time it's over Lich's Glory. So a lot of these cards you might recognize. Well, to start off, we're going to be covering how the deck works, good matchups, bad matchups, and gameplay, and sideboarding a little bit. But it's a best of one historic list, so that, you know, just so you have that information, it's not for best of three. That's not what it's built for. So if you're interested in just the gameplay and checking out an exportable list, all of that's going to be down below in the description. You can click on the timestamp to jump right into the gameplay, and you can export the list if you want to try it out. So there's that. So let's dig into the deck, like, you know, how it works and stuff like that. So this is based heavily off of two decks. One that I saw on ladder with Glorious End, Pact of Negation, etc., Chance for Glory, with Gideon as the main pinnacle point. And that just deck smorked me down really, really hard, and I couldn't really deal with it. And then the other deck that we're basing it off of is Ali Eldrazi's Lich's Mastery deck. Now, he's gone through a couple different iterations as well for the list. Like, it started out with Chance for Glory, Anger of the Gods, etc. And he ended up dropping the red mana and going straight into Orzhov colors just about, with blue being for Pact of Negation, and he still kept cascading, so you can pay for this in a pinch. But he's still got Lich's Mastery and such. I made a lot of similar changes that he did, but I think the red is too good to give up, especially with Glorious End. I love this card. So how does this deck function before we get into that stuff? Basically, early game, we develop Maze Mine Tomes and Treasure Maps. Like, these are your best cards to keep in your opener. When you're going to mulligan, you mulligan for these potentially. Phyrexian Arena is pretty good too in your opening hand, and then some form of sweeper, whether that be Clarion or Wrath. You want to keep those in your openers basically, and like 2 to 3 lands. You're allowed to keep 2 lands if you've got like an untapped land on your second land draw. So if, like, for example, first turn Triome, second turn like Isolated Chapel. And then you can develop Maze Mine, and you can set upkeeps to scry before you draw to control your land draws, on top of scrying at the end of your opponent's turn. And then Treasure Map, upkeep, stop, tap 1, and then try to get a land on top. So that's your idea. That's when you can keep 2. 3 lands are pretty safe if you have like Phyrexian Arena or Gideon. Those are your best cards. You don't want like Glorious End, Chance for Glories without things to combo with it in your opener. Those are considered pretty bad, and you don't want to approach because then your opponent can thought seize you. So how does the deck function? We've got Gideon's Zero Emblem, which says, as long as you control a Gideon Planeswalker, you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game. All right. And that's important because a lot of our conditional spells require us to lose the game if we don't do something, or we just lose. So with this, for example, if we don't pay the 5 mana, which it's hard to come by blue, this is our only chance of it. Like, we can add 2 blue, 3 colorless or whatever with this, or like 3 of any color really. And then we can pay for it. But aside from that, we lose the game if we cast this, because there's no like actual blue mana in the deck. So we're able to play stuff like this as well, which is like take an extra turn after this one. We can do this at the end of our opponent's turn in order to set up for a Lich's Mastery combo. And then we can also just end the opponent's turn. This acts like a counter spell on the stack. While this goes off, it removes everything on the stack, all of the effects, etc. So you can even Glorious End like Hydroid Krasis draw and counter the creature. It's so powerful, man. That's why I think we can't sacrifice red. This is the most important card for red. On top of Clarion on 3 for a sweeper, it's nice, right? Especially if we're not ramping with Mind Stones. And then we have a 1 of Karn for the sideboard here. It can pull us win cons, like alternative win cons, like God Pharaoh Statue. We can +1 this and start beating the opponent up. They lose life. We can get a Platinum Angel, so we have another proc for, you know, Chance for Glory, etc. if we need to. We can get Parhelion to +1 this with Karn. It turns it into an 8/8. Because its converted mana cost is 8, it's not a creature yet, so it's a valid target. And then you swing in for 16. It's a very fast clock, especially if you pair it with Chance for Glory in the main. And then we have, like, you know, spot answers like Crypt for Reanimator, Grafdiggers for like Coco, like collected. I forget the name of that. Collected something. Company. I didn't have to look it up. I'm good. Grafdigger's Cage, which, yeah, it stops that. Wish Claw, which allows us to get approach if we need to cheat it out and to play faster. Also, if we have Karn, they can't activate this. Ratchet Bomb for tokens. Like, there's a lot. This is basically just a toolbox, right? And that's what Karn's there for the best of one toolbox. All right. And then we've got Lich's Mastery, which combos with approach. And it gives us another instance of you can't lose the game. So then if someone, you know, deals with your Gideon, it dies to Murderous Rider, etc., you have a backup plan that's harder to interact with. The most important thing to consider with this list is if you know your opponent might have an Ugin Spirit Dragon, the guy that can -6 and exile this card so you lose, hold the Pact of Negation for that, hold Glorious End for it, you know what I mean? Like, make sure you have an answer for that. Maybe let the Nissa go through if you have to, in order to make sure you don't lose to Eugene. Usually you want to stop the Nissa as well as other stuff, but it's going to be hard to keep up with everything that a ramp deck is going to do. So there we go. So the combination here is you cast Approach while you have Lich's Mastery, and this says whenever you lose life, for each 1 life you lost, exile a permanent you control or a card from your hand or graveyard. It also says whenever you gain life, draw that many cards. So we play this and then we draw 7 cards and pick it right back up, and then we keep going. So that's the combination here, on top of having a lot of interaction up here. So that's the basics of the deck. There's a lot of intricate plays, like always, keeping in mind whether it's good to hold your upkeep stop and then scry during your upkeep versus letting it go through and saving the mana to draw a card, stuff like that. That's going to come with a lot of practice and a lot of thinking. And then there's just a lot of intricacies with, like, knowing when you have to cycle this in order to draw a chance for glory rather than play it as a land, etc. There's going to be a lot of ins and outs that you'll learn as you play the deck. So that's sort of the gameplay, how it does, what the sideboard's for. We've kind of covered that. So good matchups and bad matchups. We don't have to consider Field of the Dead because this is post-ban. This is the updated list for this list. So we don't have like Blood Sun in the sideboard with Mastermind's Acquisition. We don't need the Plague card that gives -1/-1 to all tokens, etc. Or -2/-2, rather. The Virulent Plague. So we're allowed to free up our sideboard for a lot more diverse options, like fun options, like Galleon, one of my viewers, just suggested this, because Karn can crew this for free, and then when it attacks, exile it at the end of the combat, return it to the battlefield transformed, so you get a cool little draw engine, stuff like that. Like, we can have a lot more fun with our sideboard, instead of it just being there for Blood Sun or to interact with Field of the Dead. And we have a lot of good answers for ramp threats like Pact and Glorious End, etc. So we're able to free up our options for that main deck instead of having to have like Thoughtseize and stuff for our Promise, because they'll get ahead of us if we don't do that stuff. So good matchups, bad matchups. I'd say Goblins we have a pretty fair chance against because we have so many sweepers main. As long as we just make sure that you sweep the Prospector almost as soon as you can. You don't want them to be able to combo with it. So if you can snag Prospector plus like one other Goblin, preferably like a Haste Goblin or something else, do it, and then Wrath again later once they develop Prospector again. You just got to take care of Prospector, otherwise they can't really get Muxus going. And then you can -2 Karn for Grafdiggers if you're afraid of Muxus later, and then they're not able to put cards from their library down. And how are you doing, Echo? We're recording a video right now. Hope you're doing well, though. So that's sort of the idea behind this all. And then, so that's against Goblins. I think we're probably like 50-50-ish. It's still a really strong deck. If they get the the God draw, we get ranched on for sure. But like, other than that, we have a pretty fair chance, more than most decks, because we even have Pact of Negation to counter Muxus or whatever. It's just really, really nice. We can also Glorious End while Muxus is on the stack before he resolves as a creature. Then they sacked all of their Goblins and they just lose everything. They just lose their turn. It's great. So you can just hold, and they don't have any interaction with you. Like, what are they going to do? They're in red. They can't Thoughtseize us, you know? So like, they have no interaction with this card, so we can just kind of hold that over them pretty well. What else? So what else is popular right now? Like, I've seen a lot of Citadel decks, and I think we do pretty well against those, since we have Pact of Negation, we have Glorious End, things to stop Citadel from resolving. So that's pretty nice. And also we have the -2 Karn, Grafdiggers, Stop Coco, Collected Company, etc. And lots of sweepers too. Like we can sweep up the Forgotten Priest, the Mayhem Devils, etc. pretty easily, pretty early on with Clarion. And we have a lot of life gain with Maze Mind, like enough life gain, I would say, gaining 4 life. This also pairs really well with Lich's Mastery. You get to draw 4 cards and kind of get gas rolling back again. So there's that. Like, it's going to be kind of hard to update the matches because I don't know what the meta looks like post field ban. It's still pretty volatile. Like, everyone's experimenting with different things. So if you guys have any questions concerning other matchups that I haven't covered, throw them into the comments below, and I'll try to address those as soon as possible. I just need to know what other matchups that I'm kind of missing, you know, since I haven't been able to experiment a lot with the deck thus far. This is like day 1. We played maybe 10-15 matches, and it's mostly still been like rampless without Field of the Dead, mix of aggro, and then Citadel lists is what I've been fighting against mostly. So we kind of covered those matchups at least. So sideboarding, I mean, we've kind of already gone over that too. So we'll jump right into the gameplay here. So hopefully you guys can enjoy that. I think I've got like 2 or 3 matches here, so we'll see some different matchups and how things go. The Field of Ruins back and stuff, like I get that. It just, I don't know. So we're gonna do this first because we want 3 untapped mana. Okay, that's fine. Now we can Thoughtseize. Oh gosh. I'll be able to pact this. I think I'm going to take Collected Company. Or I could take the Visionary, but I think Collected Company is more important to get out. Yeah. Yeah, it's like 3 in the beginning is crazy. It's definitely nutty. I don't know why they're holding priority. They must have something. Collected Company, probably. Man, not hitting the emblem here is pretty rough, too. Or not hitting the land, because being able to Wrath here would be so good. So we whiffed on lands 2 turns in a row. You can wait a second. And just emblem up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 6 mana, dude. I think we have to let this go. I guess I'm just dead, though. Well, not really. I'm not dead yet. Because now they're going to try to Citadel. And then I just packed this. Get ranched. Get ranched, son. Yeah, I'm liking the deck. We just need to hit land drops, man. That's all. Just need land drops, dude. Like, if we hit land drops, we win here. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're taking like 12 damage. I guess it doesn't matter as long as we keep Gideon alive, you know? They're keeping Visionary back for, like, Collected Company, maybe? They don't have any other mana. Oh gosh, that's death. Now I can't. Oh, well, I can, actually. Because I don't die from having no life. We're plussing Gideon because we need him to stay alive. Okay. We don't really have a lot for this amount of mana. I guess Graph Diggers would kind of be okay. I mean, I guess Chance for Glory is alright. I guess we can start the clock, right? Just do this. Zero this out and start swinging in. They have a lot of life, but it's fine. Like, we have to start the clock sometime, right? We basically just need mana. Like, if we can hit land drops, we're good. Don't kill that. No. Oh, they're done. I figured out a strategy so that everyone in the house can kind of have some too, instead of me just making it for me and one of my roommates. I can make it for all 4 of us right now. This looks okay, especially against aggro. Pretty safe hand to keep. This is probably Gobbo's. Ooh, burn. This is burn. It's gonna be a little tough. Burn's really, really fast. It's probably gonna be like swing, Lava Runner. Okay. This is gonna hurt quite a bit. I think they're gonna Wizard's Lightning the end of turn, or they're gonna light up the stage here. They'll light up. No, light up the stage. Okay. I don't think I'm allowed to develop treasure map here. I just have to put this into play tapped and chill for a sec. You sound like the perfect roommate. I'm okay. Decent. Maybe Rimrock Knight. I don't know. I don't know what they could have. Okay, that's fine. So they're going to hit for 4 here. 4, 5, 6, 7 if they have Wizard's Lightning. Ooh, that's a mistake. Oops. Opponent did not respect Clarion here at all. That might be a scoop. Oof. That's fine. So they can haste this up. Oh, I don't have 2 white for Gideon. I think I have to Clarion this so they can't light up the stage. Hello. So we'll go ahead and prevent damage from that. Pyromancer does 2 damage here, probably. Need a Wrath of God off the top 1 time. Part of the cards. Whoosh! Just once. Once. 1 time. For the 1 time. Wrath of God. Right here. Not quite. I could emblem one of them. I think I just developed treasure maps, though. I think. 2, yeah. Okay. They don't have anything? Wait, can I? 3, 4, 5. This is 6. I just want to draw here. Oof. That's kind of a big mood. I could +1 Gideon and +1 Gideon again. Make it so they can't deal any damage with their dudes. And then I can scry with both treasure maps. Then they might have double burn or something. We'll take that.
You cannot win.
It's not bad, but we don't really need it. We'll just draw here, I think. We'll +1 that. We could pop the other treasure map as well, I guess. I don't think we really need to, though. Like, I don't think we really gain much from it. So now I have to like split their damage between Gideon and me, which is pretty rough. Haste another creature with, okay, discard your hand until end of turn. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't matter. They can deal 4 damage to Gideon and not kill him. Okay, so we can go ahead and crack one of these as well. Add blue. Flip this. Draw. Deck check. Okay, I got you. Doug. I got you, man. After this. So now I can draw a card with treasure map. You just paid 100. Oh my gosh, that's a lot, dude. I guess I just +1 on this. This is pretty dangerous because if they can respond by lightning bolting me, I'm pretty much in trouble. I could just play out the other Gideon, I guess. Oh, I don't have to worry about it. I'll just hold up Glorious End here. Phyrexian is good here? Yeah, could be alright. Yeah. Why play second Gideon? Just to be safe, I guess. Like, in case they had something to respond to me with. I don't know. I was a little scared. Why? I was scared. Boom. Nice. Alright, so hopefully that was helpful. We showed you guys Citadel and Mono Red, which I think are pretty popular in regards to the meta for Historic. So hopefully that showcased how the deck can perform in kind of tight situations, how to kind of work around some rough draws and whatnot. So with that being said, I usually do 3 to 4 deck guides a week, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. So if you're interested in that, there'll be an end panel here where you can click on my silly face and it'll subscribe, and you'll be able to get notifications in the next deck guides and such. And then you can also check out the next video if you'd like. And if you have any comments or questions about this deck, any of my other decks, whatever, drop them in the comments below, and I'll try to get to those as soon as possible. So thanks again for dropping by, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.